It is one of the most lethal aircraft in America's Air Force, the F-18 Hornet. One of the pilots of that incredible aircraft was born and raised in Shreveport. His name is Mitch McAllister, and he's tonight's Hometown Patriot.
The Barksdale Defenders of Liberty Air Show is coming to town this next weekend. Growing up on that base, I've been to many of those, as I'm sure a lot of you have as well, but never flown in one. However, there was a young man from Shreveport, went to Captain Shreve High School. He flew in one. In fact, he was a fighter pilot named Mitch. His name is Rivers. He's 9 years old, and he reminds the fella in the flight suit of someone he used to know.
Dad and I parked outside the gate off the highway, sitting on the hood of the car, watching the Blue Angels.
It was the early 80s. Mitch McAllister saw what we all saw yesterday and caught the fever.
I wanted to be an astronaut. That's what I always said I would do.
To get there, he was going to become a naval aviator. He applied to the Naval Academy.
I was actually turned down my first attempt at getting in the Naval Academy.
Mitch spent a year at LSU Shreveport.
And at the end of the year, I said, "Hey, Annapolis, look, I did it. I can do this."
It was still not easy.
My first semester, I did miserably.
But Mitch is not a quitter. He graduates and the training begins.
The question I was asking myself is, can I really do this? Because I was terrified initially.
Then Mitch finds himself above an aircraft carrier about to make his first landing.
Completely dissolved in my cockpit. I was terrified. I didn't know what was going on, but fortunately, I had so much training that I was able to fall back on it, and I landed. It was thrilling. It was terrifying at the same time.
Next, the most difficult thing a pilot ever does, a night landing. Mitch misses his first attempt.
And I had an instructor, Rio, a radar intercept officer, in my backseat at the Tomcat, and so we had about a 5-minute discussion around the pattern about my future in naval aviation.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It doesn't get any easier. On the morning the towers fell, Mitch had just finished his F-14 Tomcat training.
Watching the towers are coming down and the phone rings, and the duty officer answered it, and he said, "Hey, is McAllister in here?" I said, "Yeah, I'm right here." And he's like, "Get to your fleet squadron, man. What are you waiting on?"
Within weeks, this freshman pilot is getting shot at over Afghanistan.
It's not terribly entertaining of a story, but I have.
16 years later, Mitch is still flying combat. He just returned from Iraq.
We flew a lot of missions. We released a lot of ordnance. A lot of bullets coming out really fast.
Today, Mitch has his name on this Hornet as commander of Fighter Squadron 105, the Gunslingers.
Since I'm the boss, my guys sent me with my airplane.
He loves this plane and what he does.
I grew up in Shreveport.
But he would tell Rivers here he is no Superman and would not be where he is without people.
From the time I was a child, wonderful parents, wonderful siblings, wonderful friends, wonderful teachers in Shreveport. And I think it was about just the relationships I generated and the encouragement that came from them.
Yes, the little boy who saw this one afternoon 30 years ago and said, "I can," did. But not alone.
To be back where kind of this road started for me is pretty special. But I'm absolutely living my dream. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Congratulations, Mitch McAllister. By the way, Mitch is not the only local boy to fly in this show. In fact, coming up this next weekend, a young man from Bossier City, Louisiana, my hometown, Airline High School, will have his story next week. For Hometown Patriots, I'm Rick Rowe.
If you'd like to nominate a Hometown Patriot, go to ktbs.com/hometownpatriot or send an email to hometownpatriot@ktbs.com.